Mid-morning with Aleena Naylor on BBC Radio Derby.
Morning. If you're just joining me, let me introduce you to my next guest. You might have heard her on our airwaves before. You might have bumped into her at our Derbyshire days. She's actually an award-winning baker from the Staffordshire Moorlands. Sarah Gayton runs Taste of the Moorlands, and she's decided to head down to the Houses of Parliament. No, she's not opening a London branch, but she is taking her biscuits with her in an attempt to get them featured at the Olympic Village in 2012. And I have to say, Sarah joins me in the studio this morning. These are big, ambitious plans, but I suppose you've got to take the philosophy, think big, win big, haven't you?
That's it. You just got to go to the top, you know. I've got big oaty biscuits, and again, I think they are award-winning. We got best in the country last year at Great Taste Awards with them. And I want to just show that small producers can have an impact at the Olympic Games.
You're going about this in quite, well, a
unique way.
Yes, I think unique would probably cover it. Tell me about the plan of attack.
Well, what it is, when you have a nice biscuit, oaty biscuit, you need a cup of tea or a cup of coffee to drink it with. And I know all these parliamentaries and the new Prime Minister and the new Deputy Prime Minister and all the Olympic Game Committee people, they need to do a lot of talking. So I thought, why not make them a big personalised mug based, produced locally at Hartington from Roots, and give them some biscuits, and hopefully then they'll remember my biscuits, but also remember put small producers on the map at the Olympic Games.
Because your biscuits will go in seconds, but the mugs will last a lifetime, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. We've got one here for Boris Johnson.
I really don't want to. I don't want to handle it too much because I really don't want to break it or chip it. Here it is, the Olympian Oaty. With instead of the 5 rings of the Olympics, we've got a picture of 5 Oaty biscuits on the front of the Union Jack flag. And then on the back, 2012, Boris Johnson, the Mayor of London. And as you said, this has been made by the Rooks Pottery in Hartington.
That's it. That was actually come out of the kiln about 2 days ago.
I'm joking. Wow.
No, it's really hot off the press, that one.
And that is about a pint's worth of tea you could fit in there. That is a big mug, isn't it?
You know what they do down south? They have lots of meetings, don't they? So they need lots of tea and lots of coffee.
My word. And the biscuits are not small either. You're known for the size of the oaties you produce. They are whoppers.
We do like make a big biscuit, and I think that's what makes them so tasty.
Sarah, you're very serious about this in that you are determined to try and make an inroad for local producers.
That's right, yeah. I know there are opportunities out there, and I think you can log on the website at the Olympic site. But I've spoken to a lot of small producers that go, you know, Derby show, Stafford show, Three Counties show. And they all really, really just want a small opportunity to supply the Olympics. But they don't really know how to go about it. And they're also worried about, you know, how much will it cost to have a pitch down there? Are the pitches available? Or can we get the food on the menus on the Olympic Village? And again, I think we just need to open the debate and to see realistically how we can get, you know, the Taste of Britain, Taste of Derbyshire, Taste of Staffordshire. We need to get this food on the menu down there.
And I suppose now's the right time. I mean, it seems miles off to the rest of us. I suppose it doesn't to the athletes all over the globe that are training. But this is about the right time to pitch it, because presumably those decisions will be made shortly.
And wasn't the biscuit?
No, I've not touched one. And presumably as well, this is the time, as the new governments come in, that you can get the ears of the right people.
Definitely. I think there's a real opportunity there with the coalition government. They've got to talk. There's no 2 ways about it now. And again, there's a sense of the whole Olympics. If you read the information, it's all about sustainable development, all about giving people opportunities to supply them. So we've got to make an impact now with our local food onto the agenda there, but realistically on the agenda. And again, you know, if you look at some of the rural areas around here, especially the uplands, they've been in recession for too long. These farmers need a break, and what better break to actually put their sheep, their lamb, their cows and beef onto that Olympic menu. It'd be just brilliant, wouldn't it? Can you imagine
You're acting rather selflessly in this. I mean, it'd be great if your biscuits made it through, but as you say, this is about raising awareness. And I suppose,
definitely,
I hate to go on about it, but there is, particularly in the times of recession we've seen, a north-south divide at the moment, and we know the north is not recovering as quickly. This could be an incentive, a leg up, but
could you imagine it if you supplied the Olympics, so your beef supplied one of the runners that won? What a marketing opportunity thereafter.
Yeah.
And we've got to put the pride back into farming, you know.
Is there not a difficulty though that an organisation as big as the Olympic setup will be is going to need stuff, one, in great numbers that independent local producers might not be able to sustain or maintain, and also that delivery logistics, you know, getting something from your bakery tucked away at Warslow or a farm that's hidden away in the deepest, darkest Peak District. It's a complicated supply chain.
Hey, we're Britain, we can do this. You know what I mean? And there's got to be a way and a manner of doing it. I can't believe we can't do it, because we had, about 4 weeks ago, we had 12 Singaporean guests come to the bakery, right? They came, we showed them what was happening, and they bought about £10 worth of stuff from the bakery. But before they went home, they bought 86 packets of my biscuits, the Oaties and the hot ginger, to take back to Singapore. These visitors, they want to taste what Britain's got to offer. It only takes one athlete to win an Olympic event, and it could take one farmer to feed that Olympian at the event. So, again, come on, let's think. And I'm sure some of the big logistic companies out there and the Olympic Games organisers, they have contacts.
Yeah.
Some of the big TV personalities now, you know, like Alan Sugar, like Theo Vasitis, they have got contacts. We can make this happen. If they give us the opportunity, we can feed
the will is definitely there.
We can feed the Olympic Games.
Hey, look, we're going to break for some music. We're going to turn to chat to Sarah a little bit more. If you haven't heard about her background and what she does with her bakery, which you really are on the Derbyshire-Staffordshire border, aren't you? They're officially in the Staffordshire Borderlands. And we'll find out a little bit more about how she came to be baking biscuits and plenty of other things as well. And, well, more on this political ambition, because let's face it, it will be the politicians who ultimately guide those decisions. The Temptations, in the meantime, this is Get Ready. The Temptations and Get Ready on BBC Radio Derby. If you are just joining me, let me bring you up to speed. In the studio with me is Sarah. Have you ever been in before, Sarah?
Hey, it's my first time here, so it took me about 20 times around the one-way system and all the roadways to get here.
No.
I've left me bounce, so just see if I can find it when I leave the building.
Oh, you're joking?
No,
You've not even made it to our car park?
I didn't even make it to the car park.
You've come in from your bakery in the Staffordshire Moorlands, and actually, in terms of the business that you've created, things are going great guns for you. And here's me, we're talking tourism in the programme after midday today, and I'm saying if you're any way related to the tourism industry, give us a ring. I'd like to know how you see it. That must directly relate to your business. How are things?
To be honest, we are really expanding. We've set up the wholesale now, so we do deliver to different little shops around the area. And also my show scene is going really well. So, to be honest, I think we're nearly outgrowing the bakery now. I'm falling over trays of products that we have to send out. So we are looking to move early September, October. It's still in Staffordshire Moorlands, not too far away.
Yeah, you'll not shift.
But it is a bit closer to where my horse is, Rupert. So poor little thing's getting me worked his little hooves off. So, you know, but I think you have to move on. You can't stand still. And if we are going to take this Olympic challenge on, I think we just need a slightly larger premises to make it happen.
How do you envisage it working then? Because the Olympics are going to be on for several weeks.
Ooh, very long time.
You've got to have that infrastructure in place. I suppose, really, as you said, you've got to be advised. But first of all, you've got to see that goodwill's there.
Definitely. I think if we go into collaboration and talks with the organisers, we can work something out. Personally, I think I would struggle, to be honest, to supply the whole length of the Olympics. I think I'd be a bit silly to think that. But if I'd had an opportunity to supply certain areas, say like the 3-day eventing, you know, that's going to have world-class riders there, and I love riding anyway, and if I could sell my products there, it'd be absolutely fantastic. So again, if you go into discussion, there's other regions around the country, they also want to showcase their products. Let's all have a slice of the action. But if we go into talks, I'm sure with logistics experts, with other key people, movers and shakers in the industry, we can make it happen. No challenge is too big. I mean, they're bringing them to London, so, you know, we're going to go to London to sell it.
In terms of how soon you're hoping to speak to people, you're looking in the next few weeks of getting down to the House of Commons, aren't you?
That's it. We had to wait to see who won the election to get the actual mugs for Mr Cameron and Mr Clegg. They literally come out yesterday. But it also, because I am a small business, I have to try and coordinate it with my baking, because we're really busy next week and we're busy this week. But they will be going in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The key challenge, to be honest, is to try and get somebody in the Olympic Committee for me to actually meet and talk to, because I had phoned them and they said I'd have to take the mugs to the post room. But I think if I left the mugs and the biscuits there, the biscuits wouldn't make it to the
Of course they
committee.
wouldn't.
You know what I mean?
Of course
So
they wouldn't.
if
Gotta be their own
anybody's got a
person.
link out there to just get a personalised input, I would love it, because we've got a strong message to sell and a good one for the country.
Sarah, how do you find the energy? Because, you know...
And biscuits.
Yeah.
I have every morning, you know.
You say you're busy, and actually, what people probably don't appreciate is running a bakery is not just a 9 to 5 job. And when it's your own business, and as well, you know, you're relatively new, it is darn hard work, and it is very, very long hours.
Oh, definitely. I think this is what people don't understand. If you do want to make a business work, you've got to put the hours in. I'm hoping later in life I will have more free time. But if you want to make it work, you've got to put the hours in. But when that phone rings and you get an order, it's like, whoops, we're in business again for another day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think everybody struggled in January, February this year, and I really struggled. I couldn't even get to the bakery, and now there is no way on earth I'm letting anything else stand in the way of building this business.
Of course, we had that dreadful, dreadful snow, didn't
Oh,
we?
it's terrible. I was stuck in the onket at the bottom waiting for the snowplow to go back home. I didn't even make it to the bakery.
Oh, my
it
word.
was scary. But, you know, I think we're all through that now. And we've just got to, you've got to keep on moving your business forward. You know, you've got to keep focused. And I think the 80 biscuits, that's what's focusing me. And you just got to go out there and shout about your products.
Well, look, it's been brilliant, as always, to have you on our airwaves. All the very best. Will you keep us posted?
Hey, we will keep you posted. I tell you, if we get to meet Mr. Cameron and Mr. Clegg personally, it will be a real hoot. We've got a very simple message there. Let's give the Olympic Games a taste of Britain.
Look, I'm going to hand back. It's just like
Mug's coming back,
the
folks.
ceremonial mug. This will hopefully end up in the hands of the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson. I am not going to chip it in the meantime. I'll hopefully let him do that, because I think he's probably the only clumsier person than me. In the meantime, this is ABBA on BBC Radio Derby.
Favourite song?
Gimme, gimme, gimme.